Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Haley. I am a recent graduate, caregiver, and cashless budgeter who is trying to heal her relationship with money and work towards financial freedom. If that's something you're interested in or a journey you're interested in following, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay, so I decided today to go through my binders, whether or not this will be split into one or two videos to decide later on. These might take a while, but just as a forward to all of this, I did not start with this. Actually, to be more specific, I started with this. This was a regular old photo album. I think I got it from Ross or another store. And I basically used the inserts to have the inserts and dashboards were a binder in one half and money in the other half. Again, I'm a cashless budgeter. I started with cash in the beginning, ended up not liking it and switched to cashless budgeting, but regardless, everyone has a start somewhere. This was my start, and I believe I still have challenges in here, in saving challenge insert. And this is where I began. By the way, any products or items, can't talk today, or challenges that are in here that are not my own, I will try to either leave a YouTube channel in the description, Etsy, or leave it somewhere in the video. Highly suggest any of these creators that will be in this video to go check them out, like, comment, watch their videos, visit their Etsy's through their channels so that they can save on some of the Etsy charges. And with that being said, continue on. These mini challenges are from Danielle at Danielle Craft Studio. Again, I'll leave her channel and her Etsy in the description. But this is how it started. I would just have these challenges. It's condensed now. I had have challenges on one side, money on the other side, and just try to save up for different things, write what they were for on the back. Once I finished them, erase, repeat, rinse and repeat for a while, and it got to the point where you won't see it here, but the seams broke in the middle. Oops, sorry about the interruption, guys. Anyway, the seams in the middle started to basically break apart, and I really do love this photo album, and I wanted to preserve it as much as possible, so I decided to then move to actual binders. And this was after 3 or 4 months of cash stuffing and realizing that this was something I wanted to stick with. So there's that. Also another plug-in for Chat with Nicole and Budgets for this car maintenance and house maintenance challenge. And I got the happy birthday freebie. It's really cute. Okay, putting it out there. So after this, I basically moved to binders. This binder honestly probably will have the most wear and tear of all of them. This was my very first cash stuffing binder, and honestly the most used at this point, as it holds the majority of my revolving funds. By the way, definitely a 90s baby. Love my 90s movies, cartoons, SpongeBob being one of my favorites. And this is another tip, especially if you're getting started. Make whatever you're using to cash stuff enjoyable. Me personally, I know I love SpongeBob, I love 90s cartoons, so I of course went to Amazon to buy the binders, but invested in things like stickers and getting the small stickers that come with the binders. I'm using them as tabs. I used index cards. They last longer and last within the envelope itself, which you'll see in a minute. And basically just pencil drew, got some markers, and colored this in. It's not perfect by any means. Honestly, I'm surprised it's not crooked. I can make a stick figure look crooked at this point. But regardless, it's making it my own so that coming into this binder and actually cash stuffing is enjoyable to me. So with that being said, this is my short-term revolving binder. I drew inserts, again, wear and tear from all of these. I drew dashboards and inserts for the majority of these envelopes. There will be some from other creators that I'll make sure to mention throughout the video. So this one's mine. My short-term revolving funds, known as sinking funds. I call this my sink or swim binder. Drew Rusty Anchor. Again, SpongeBob theme makes me happy. I'm not sad to see any of this. Moving on. Here is for my doggos. One, unfortunately, passed away late last year, and so now we have our one singular only child now. This is his envelope, even though he doesn't even have a job. He honestly probably gets the most money out of everybody else. So this is his pet care envelope, a little petty pebble. So this is to buy food, any leashes, harnesses, any grooming appointments or grooming materials, shampoos, conditioners, so on and so forth. He's very spoiled. Let's put that in that perspective. Here I added an health envelope for him to get more into nitty-gritty things. He does have medication. So pharmacy and supplements is basically for his subscription is every 6 months, or a payout every 6 months. And there are other dashboards, quote unquote, in here for other things. There's one for his vet visit, if it'll come out. There you go. Example, one for his vet visits. And I'm starting a mini emergency buffer in the back just with any extra dollars that are left over from his appointments or any over budgeting that I did, because I do round up with a lot of numbers, so I do have change. And this is where that goes. And then we have my health and medical envelope. And again, I love stickers, love memes, an absolute favorite. Don't know if you can read this one, but it says, do you have health insurance? And it says, so my medical bills are covered, right? And then the side eye. Absolute favorite and honestly true. So this is where I save for things like glasses, co-pays, any type of emergency that I may have to pay out a copay for comes out of this envelope. I do have a lot of chronic conditions, so there's yearly blood work and physicals I have to go through, and I mostly save for those in here. This next envelope will probably be the only, one of the only, at least, caregiving related envelopes I will include in my videos just for privacy reasons. So this is a care credit envelope. I do have a care credit card, and I use it to pay up front for certain things, whether or not anyone knows this. Another tip, may not be all hospitals, but most hospitals, if you go in there and actually pay for your visit up front, you can ask if there is a discount for doing so. Now, some might say yes, some might say no, some might not have even heard of what I'm saying. So again, this is not financial advice, just things that I have done to try to lower cost. And sometimes, if they say yes, you can get a discount and get a % off of what you have to pay up front for paying up front. If that made any sense. Hope it did. So that's why I save money in here for, so that I can pay off the card immediately. Okay, and then, again, I'm corny. I know, don't have to remind me. This is for holidays. This is within my household, friends. So Christmas and birthdays mostly. Random celebrations are in another envelope that I'll get to later. And this envelope is for my mom. Sorry, I'm trying not to answer it up. Anyway, this is saving for Christmas, Mother's Day, birthday, if we just want to go out for a weekend or a day and just enjoy each other's company. If you don't know, she's one of the individuals that I care for. I'm not in favor of sending parents to a home if I can help it. And she has a neurological based disorder, so there's no cure, there's no getting better necessarily. So we basically just roll with the punches. So I try to save as much as I can in order to enjoy that time, and you know that she can still live her life at the same time. So there's that. This is a health and wellness envelope, different from health and medical. This is more so for things like vitamins, supplements, gym memberships, any events that I go to. I like going to different sporting events. This is what pay for those. This was a sticker from one of the gyms I visited. It was yeet or be yeeted, and I thought it was cute, so I put it on here. And this last envelope of my sinking funds or revolving funds is bulk buy, bulk shopping, bulk grocery shopping, bulk meat shopping. The majority of the money in here right now goes towards Sam's membership, and it's depleted right now, but saving for Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner. So there's that. And I also split these binders because I don't think I have enough envelopes to make another binder for this. Some people do, some people don't. Some people have one envelope. I prefer a couple for different reasons. Okay, so here is car maintenance, and this dashboard wasn't supposed to be a dashboard. It was actually supposed to be an envelope, and it's from TandL Budgets. Again, I'll link her down in the description. And she was so gracious to create the emblems that were on her envelopes into dashboards for me. And I 100% appreciate that. And love them dearly. So anyway, this section is for car maintenance. I call this my car TMI envelopes, and TMI is for taxes, maintenance, and insurance. Again, I'm corny, but it makes me happy to see it. Anyway, so this envelope is for car payments. Car payments for me include tax and tag that we do every year within the state. And currently I am saving for my car deductible and car emergency. I am saving for these using the $2.75 rule challenge from TandL Budgets. Again, I'll have her link down in the description as well. To save at least $1,003.75. I decided to round each of these circles up to $3 just because it was easy for me and I don't usually do math with change. So hopefully there's not a glare on here and you can see this. Steady progress thus far. Hope to keep it going, but yeah, hopefully I can do this challenge twice. That'll be the goal, at least. We'll see. Anyway, moving on from this to maintenance. Maintenance, I keep general maintenance in here. I do, some people may or may not agree with this, but I do go to a dealership at least once a year or every other year in order to get general maintenance on my car. My car is newer, like I mentioned in my debt video. So I don't really have more than the basic maintenance needed on it, but I'm still saving up for it just in case. I'm also saving up for tires and brakes in here separately, just in case. You never know. Those can really go out anytime, doesn't matter how old your car is. So those are what I'm working on as far as maintenance is concerned. And then back here is the emergency part. I like to have $1,000 emergency fund for a car, miscellaneous things happening. I also save up emergency gas in here, which will mostly be used if I go traveling and or volunteer around different parts of the state. And there's also a section here that's saving for repairs, which is not a high priority part and or envelope to me right now, but it still gets $1 here and there in my budget. So that is this binder. Oh, by the way, I love this sticker. I have a spreadsheet for that. This is from Layla, my personal finance with Layla. I'll also have her linked in the description. So there's this one. And the next one. This one is a little project that I'm working on. I don't necessarily have a good process for going and funding this, but I am trying to formulate one so that 2025 I can actually put in here more aggressively. So this here, my Sloth binder, and it's my low priority and or low priority long-term envelope binder. I did order the black binder from Amazon, got Sloth stickers. This tiger and sloth are actually my favorite animals. Anyway, and then I honestly took an old paper sheath cover, cut it up, and taped it on here so that the stickers would stay. DIY hack. You're going to see a lot of tape in this just because I did not have another way to seal it and did not want to destroy the binder. So there's that. Just putting it out there. So taking a quick peek, I was inspired by Danielle, again at Danielle Craft Studios, where she says every dollar counts. And so these envelopes right now have very minimal funding in them. What I've been doing thus far and will probably continue doing is build up to at least $20 in here. There are 16 envelopes. Debt is one that stays each time. But I try to randomize and pick 5 envelopes at random to then randomize the $20 into. It probably won't be done more than every quarter, as that's about how long it takes me, because again, these are all low priority. They either have funds in the yellow binder I just showed or funds in other envelopes that I don't really need any of this right now, but this is just to keep certain things that are not in the front of my mind funded anyway, just in case. So quick flip through. This envelope probably buffer for Christmas. Annual blood work, again, have a medical envelope, but this is just in case it gets a little bit more expensive than what I planned for. Always want to leave a little bit of buffer room. Pet care, because pets never have enough care. That just is what it is. Month ahead on bills. This is for when I would eventually move and or get my new house, to have some of the first month's bills covered, or at least have things like utilities and such covered, where the only thing I had to be concerned with is mortgage. Hopefully I don't have that either, but never know. New to me car. I know my car is new to me. Like to eventually have a vehicle for my mom that is modified for her handicaps, so that she can still be able to, again, go out and enjoy life. She has a neurological disorder, but that doesn't mean that she's limited in her capacities outside of that. So I want to be able to have an opportunity to have some type of independence, or regain some independence. Buffer bucks, this is again random buffer money for maintenance, home, any bills that may be a little bit higher, especially during the winter or summer. So that opportunity fund. This would be for any random opportunities that come along. I can go in other envelopes, may not want to, but this would just be for that random case if I want to go on a trip and I put my days in, notice in, and just go, and I don't have to worry about it. So again, this is a idealistic work in progress, but working on it. Celebrations, this is for any weddings, birthdays that I don't consider on a regular basis, to go and celebrate those. Self-care, I need to do more of this. I don't do this. I'm working on it. And I figured saving for it would make me actually pay attention to it. So this is for random days, maybe for a staycation. I love staycations. Just being able to relax, watch a movie, eat snacks, and enjoy people's company that I actually want to be in. Electronics, my phone, laptop, chargers, anything that needs replacing or renewal will come out of here. Weekend getaway, again, this is more so of a I just need a break and I just want to leave. I can be able to do that without having to pull from other envelopes. Butcher box, this is for any bulk meat shopping or meal prep. I do try to prep my meals and cook in bulk. And there are just certain times of the year where meat gets very expensive. Like right now, meat is very expensive. So this is in order to save up for that. Debt debris, this is basically any stray dollars that I put into here. As you've seen, I do pay towards my debt, and I do have regular payments that are consistent every month. This is just extra dollars here and there, so that maybe once it builds up one day, I can go towards making that final payment and just pay them off entirely. Again, idealistic, and I'm still paying my debts anyway, but this is here just in case, and if I don't need it, then I can reallocate it elsewhere. So cushion, this is my personal savings, just to build a personal savings for anything I may want and or save for and not think about. Olympia, so I like sports, mostly strength sports, bodybuilding. At least I don't participate, but like watching it. So the Olympia in Las Vegas is one thing that I had to cut out going to in order to focus on my debt. So eventually one day, I like to save up enough where I can go and stay and visit my friends who are in the bodybuilding world. Either they do it themselves or just love the sport like I do. So there's that. Walk away fund. This is a new one. This is the one day I can just, I like to work. So I'm not the person that'll just quit their job, go explore the world. But I would like to one day be able to work part-time and or on a seasonal basis and not have to clock into a 9 to 5 every day. I do like working. Like I said, I have no problem with 9 to 5, especially right now. But I know as I get older with the conditions that I have, certain things are just going to be harder for me to do. So kind of preparing in advance for that and be able to take less physically demanding or mentally demanding jobs. So there's that. And deposit, this is where I build up to $20 to eventually disperse in here. So again, this is a work in progress. It's not 100%. And hopefully I'll be able to focus more on this and do this more often in 2025, but we'll see. And next is my adulting binder, my money binder. This is where I thought Mr. Krabs would be very relevant because anything that has to do with my finances and adult things are coming into this binder. So here, some of my favorite dashboards. Here is dashboard from Taylor at A Little of It All. Again, I'll leave her in the description. Absolutely adore her content. And she's honestly one of my favorite people here on YouTube. But anyway, moving on. These are just beautiful dashboards that she made for me. And I am not sure if they're still available in her shop or not. Have to check. But this is the adulting section. Again, I like stickers. You're going to see stickers throughout this whole entire video. So let that be forewarning. So what I consider adulting, taxes. May or may not be stealing, but you know, that's everyone's personal opinion and own stance on that. Taxes, this is where I save up for property taxes. As far as the home we're in, does not have a mortgage, is fully paid off. So I don't pay rent. I pay to save up for the taxes every year. And that's how rent is paid. That is also the reason why you'll never see rent in my budget, because this is how I save up for it. So there's that. Filing taxes. I usually use TurboTax. I'm sure there are other systems out there. I just haven't tried them. So if you have any recommendations for others that don't cost money to file, or at least not exorbitant amount of money at the end, let me know. But I do save up to buffer against having to pay towards that. And then home maintenance. Again, any household needs, appliances that are getting old, need to be replaced, go out. This is depleted now because I just replaced the refrigerator. But yeah, any little home projects or things that need to be fixed, you did it. Love that sticker too. Comes out of here. Another dashboard, envelope turn dashboard from TandL Budgets. Our stash. This is personal savings, an extension of personal savings. This sticker is from Reinventing Renee, Budgeting Nerd Co. on Etsy. ADHD tax. I use this envelope basically to buffer against any purchases that come above, that are miscellaneous and come above what I expected them to be. I also use this to shop on Etsy to get new budgeting supplies and whatnot, based on my current needs and focusing on debt. This has not been replenished. I don't bother putting prep money in this one just because once it gets spent, that's it. I don't usually try to put it back, so that's why it's empty. Okay, God given. This is another important envelope. This is for my tithes. I do pay tithes at the beginning of the month for what I project or budget my income to be for the month. However, over time, any bonuses, any extra incentives that are added increases that number. So I still take 10% of that number and save it in here for things like charity events, back to school events, passing out meals, passing out clothes, donating Salvation Army, Ronald McDonald House, things of that nature. So that's that envelope. And then here is another envelope. This is based for really another caregiving envelope I don't put into much or actively fund right now. But this is more so to help with end-of-life finances, arrangements, funeral arrangements, things of that nature. Do have insurance for things like that, but I would like to have extra money just in case. This gets the interest from certain accounts that it's in. It doesn't get funding from me directly right now because, again, focusing on debt. But eventually I'll be able to focus on this envelope. I don't want to, but, you know, 'tis life in that regard. And this envelope here, another envelope, is where I track my finances as far as retirement and investing is concerned. I do not have a brokerage account. I've thought of opening one. It's still up in the air right now, and my savings work just fine. This money, though, is actually invested. I just keep track of what my cost basis is. I don't keep track of the actual, I guess, balance at the end of the month for each of those accounts. That's in a whole separate spreadsheet. So there's that. And another interlude from Taylor making my emergency fund. I love these dashboards. I do not know if she still has them in her shop, but I just love the color. And the fact that it matches this binder makes it even better. Okay. So emergency funds, I call them emergency house or emergency hub because they're basically a bunch of mini envelopes and or savings in one place. So the first one is my parachute fund. My parachute fund has become a new focus and is a relatively new envelope in here. I'll probably be another video. Honestly, it can't be another video by itself. But long story short, this is the job replacement fund that I'll be working on. DNA, I do not remember which channel it was that brought this up, and this was months ago, honestly, almost a year ago. But DNA stands for do not ask. Do not ask. This is money that you can afford to give somebody that's need to borrow money. And if they don't give it back, it's cool. It's fine. That's what the money was there for. You don't expect it to come back from them necessarily. Funny sticker. Anyway, I, again, am not focusing on this or funding this because I am focusing on debt and saving. So, wow, slurring my words now. Great. Focusing on debt and savings. So this will be another envelope that in the future I might focus on, but for right now, it's just here as a placeholder. So rainy day, vinyl from Reinventing Renee, Budgeting Miracle on Etsy. Rainy day, this originally was the start of my emergency fund. I was introduced to Dave Ramsey October 2023, and the first save up $1,000 for your emergency fund was something that I was trying to work on and get as quickly as possible. I think it took me a month or 2 months-ish, I'll say, to get it done. But I now consider it my miscellaneous rainy day fund. There's another section of this that I call Weather Watch. On the East Coast, you get a lot of tropical storms, hurricanes, the works. So this is also, ironically, all puns intended, a rainy day fund in the case of weather emergencies. I may split that into another envelope and fund it separately. I have not decided yet. But for right now, 1,000 is a good enough buffer for that at the moment. Oh, look. Forgot about that. Weather Watch. To remind myself that part of that's in there. Okay. Moving on, this is the emergency fund for home. These are not completed by any means. I actually, let me see if I can find it. I thought it was more prepared. Guess not. Oh, here we go. So this is a Sloth scratch-off challenge from Budget with Valerie. I'll leave her Etsy in the description. I don't believe she has a YouTube channel. I have to double check. But I started this challenge at around, I'll say the beginning of this summer because I can't remember months at this moment, apparently. Can't speak either. I started this for my emergency funds to try to buffer and fill these up. I paused it in order to focus on my parachute fund because of how the economy's going, and concerns about that. So I started this. Hopefully I'll be able to restart this and bring it back to the channel. But just in case I don't, and you're seeing this video right now, Budget by Valerie, beautiful scratch-off book, scratches off beautifully, and I love sloths. So it all worked out. Okay, plug for her. So I started the challenge in order to fund home to $500, pet emergency to $500, and medical deductible to $500 before I had to pause the whole video. And pause the whole challenge. And this is Bold and Brash, more like belongs in the trash, from Squidward's art class episode. So that is this binder. They're all starting to pile up now. For sure. Okay. These two I will probably do together. These will more than likely not be on this channel very often, but I'll go through them anyway. So this challenge is for Future Home and my Patrick sticker, or my attempt to draw Patrick. This is not the highest priority, or at least not all the envelopes in here are the highest priority. But these are envelopes that I thought of that I would like to fund a future home. This binder actually had more envelopes in it, but I ended up condensing it in order to make it simpler. As I also learned about myself, is that if there's an envelope and it exists, I'm going to want to fund it. So in order to make it simpler for me and not stretch my money so thin, I condensed a lot of envelopes and goals and just put note cards explaining what would be saved in this envelope. And I'll come across an example later on in here. So the goal for these is to try to get $1,000 per envelope. Again, I don't expect to fill this quickly or anytime soon. So slowly but surely working through this. I guess this is my extended version of a snowball, and try to get these fully funded. I'm actually close to fully funding this one. This one's for any moving or storage that would be needed. Bills. Again, Reynolds budgets, envelope turn dashboard. Great thing. This envelope will also be mentioned. This is long. I'm probably going to make a second video explaining the other one. But this finance and mortgage envelope, I am currently saving for a down payment of a home. And once I get to $100 in increments, I put it into this envelope. For this, I am using the challenge from TandL Budgets. There's no place like home. Each balloon is $100, and filling out this whole thing will be $10,000. Again, I don't expect this to be done quickly. I'm working on it, and I'm actually using this kind of like a 100 envelope challenge of thinking of each balloon as an envelope and basically saving 100 times. So there's that. And I'll get a deeper explanation later on. Okay. Then appliances and interior, home accordion. This is for home improvement projects. Things like kitchen, bathroom, fence, bedroom, storage space, laundry room. Anything that might need any type of restructuring or remodeling, especially considering the handicap access that would be needed within the home. So some of those extra features do cost money, so I wanted to save for that. And I just bundled it all together into home accordion. Logistics, this is for any permits that may be needed, any paperwork, surveys, any type of, anything that needs approval, basically, or any paperwork will be coming out of here. Especially any appraisals, any type of inspections that we want done in the home to make sure that it's not only of quality, but also is fit for all of our needs. And then here is structural needs and exterior care. Again, living on the East Coast, high salt water, high possibility of floods, having quality materials for your home to save you a bunch of money. So this is for any structural upgrades that may be needed or any yard work that needs to be done in order to make the home suitable. Because a lot of the homes here are old, and wear and tear plus the salt, there's going to be some work somewhere. So this is for that. And then this is a fully funded envelope. These are envelopes I've gotten to 1,000 in already. This is emergency, a starter, renovation fund, and I believe those are the only two I've gotten to fully. And soon, hopefully by the end of this month, moving will also be in the thousands. I can move on to the next envelope. All right, so that's that. And here's vacations. The one thing that's not happening very often. I made this binder because even though I'm paying down debt and working on savings, I want to live too. I have gone on a couple of vacations. Most of them have been staycations. Some have been within the state. I have been out of the country before, and I want to eventually build up finances to go back. Again, this is not a high priority binder for me right now with debt, but I'm still working towards it. So there are other challenges I'm doing for that, which will come up later. So a quick flip through of this binder. Straight Trippin', again, rental budgets. And this is wish list. This is for places I wish to go. I've already been to, well, lived in France and visited Germany and the UK while I was there. Other places I want to go: Niagara Falls, Hawaii, Universal Studios, which is a challenge I'll get to later. But one of my main top-notch places to go right now is Niagara Falls, so that I can take my mom with me. And she's never been. And she's never been to Canada either. So we both get to enjoy and have an experience outside of our state, which would be great. The next one for me would definitely be kind of like a Northern Lights type tour of going to different countries and or states to see the lights. That'll probably be once a year or once every other year. Don't know. Obviously building up to it. But that will also be a beautiful experience as well. So subscriptions. These stickers are not necessarily going to match the inserts. Again, I condensed a lot. So some of these envelopes cover multiple topics. Subscriptions is for things like passports, visas, any other paperwork approval in that regard. And I fully funded this for a passport renewal. And I believe it's in the back. Let me see. It is. I am reusing this, but this is a challenge. Golden Girl Budgets that I am currently using to continue funding passport and visa envelope. So, click for that. Excuse me. So that's that. Traveling, this is any prep, pre-check, luggage, anything of the sorts. Wow. Envelope got stuck, guys. There we go. Okay. Buying any luggage, any other preparations, especially if you go somewhere like Europe, the outlets are different. Finding pieces for that, portable chargers, anything of that nature. And also pre-checking for flights and anything else of that nature. Right, pets. This is for pet boarding. 9 times out of 10, the places I'm thinking of going, my little pitty pebble cannot go with me. So whether he stays with family or actually in a boarding facility, I want to make sure I have money for that, buy his items, his food, and everything before I leave, but also have a little emergency buffer just in case he needs something while I'm gone. So insurance, any travel fares that come up, any travel insurance that they offer, want to be able to buy that as well. Transportation, again, airfare, train ticket, car rental, things of that nature. There's also any type of insurance that would go with taking a car or rental will also go in here, but that's not here to there. Housing, of course, lodging, hotel, Airbnb, hostel, whatever the living situation is, make money for that. Also, we keep in here extra just in case you need an extra night stay somewhere. So, intermediate travel as well. Food and bev, any snacks, any restaurant visits. I'll also include any snacks or anything in the airport itself that I need. Go in here. Sticker says education, but it's mostly for excursions. I am a very immersive traveler. I like being somewhere, learning everything there is to learn, kind of living a semblance of a day-to-day life wherever I am. That's just me and what I enjoy doing. So for any excursions, museum visits, walks, I love taking photos of structures, buildings, nature scenes. So anything that will improve that, go in here. This is emergency fund, miscellaneous money, loading that up. And souvenirs. Any souvenirs that I don't need to buy them, but I would like to buy. If there's any reason why some souvenirs have to be shipped home rather than taking it within my luggage, money for that will also go in here. Gratuity fees for tips and whatnot would go in here. Whether or not that'd be card or cash is questionable for right now. Like I said, all this is cashless. And here's an example of a challenge. This is from TandL Budgets. I'll link Etsy in the description. And I like theme parks. I like thrill rides. I like roller coasters. So Universal Studios And being the 90 kids that I am, I feel as though I have to go to Universal Studios. Like, I can't just not go. So eventually one day I'd like to go to Universal Studios. So there's that. Binder. Yeah, so I think I've been talking long enough. In this video in particular, I will more than likely make a part 2 to all of this. I thank you guys for sticking with me this long. I appreciate all of you for watching. If you have any tips or maybe any envelopes that you may think of that I need that I haven't thought of, or any other advice, especially, wow, hitting the camera, sorry guys, especially when it comes to caregiving, and or there might be things I'm not taking into consideration. Again, with finances, there are certain things I'm not going to include on this channel for privacy purposes, but there are a lot of ideas I think I have swirling in my head, and I'm just not sure about them. One budgeter, a shout out, love her dearly, love her content, is Budget of Oz. I will leave her link down in the description as well. She has given me some great ideas to think about as far as that's concerned. So, anyway, again, thank you guys for watching and making it this far. I hope you have a blessed evening or blessed day wherever you are in the world. And I hope to see you guys soon. Bye, guys.